Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay silent. In a world full of noise, opinions, advice, criticism, true strength is in the calmness of your mind. When you speak less, you observe more. You see opportunities that others miss. You understand the patterns of life and recognize the people who truly matter. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the art of listening, learning, and waiting for the right moment. Patience and discretion create power. Every thought, every action, and every choice becomes deliberate. When you are silent, you do not react to negativity, you rise above it. In life, not everything needs to be explained, justified, or broadcasted. Some victories are sweetest when they are quietly earned. The universe has a way of rewarding those who hold their peace, work hard, and trust the process. Silence teaches resilience. It sharpens your focus and intensifies your ambition. It allows your results to speak louder than your words ever could. So be silent, be patient, observe, work diligently, and remember, true success does not demand attention, it commands respect. One day, the world will notice your efforts. Your silence will turn into achievements, and your calm strength will inspire generations. Many people mistake silence for weakness, imagining that someone who does not constantly speak is timid or lacks confidence. In reality, silence is a profound sign of inner strength. It shows that you are not compelled to prove yourself to everyone, that your sense of self is secure, and that you do not need external validation to feel powerful. When you remain silent, you are giving yourself the space to process, reflect, and strategize. Being silent allows you to observe the world around you with clarity. You notice nuances, gestures, and unspoken truths that others miss in their rush to react or speak. It is in those quiet moments that real understanding is born. Understanding of people, of situations, and of opportunities that may never have been visible amidst constant chatter. Silence also gives you control over your energy and emotions. By choosing not to react impulsively or speak without thought, you maintain a calm center even in chaotic circumstances. Your mind is clear, your heart steady, and your decisions become more deliberate. The world may interpret your quiet demeanor as reserved or mysterious, but in truth it is a sign of mastery over oneself. Moreover, silence cultivates respect from others. People naturally gravitate toward those who do not feel the need to shout, argue, or constantly assert dominance. There is a magnetic quality in someone who speaks little but acts wisely, because their words carry weight when they are finally spoken. It is this combination of patience, calmness, and observation that forms a unique kind of power, a power that is not loud or aggressive, but undeniable and lasting. Choosing silence in a world obsessed with noise also allows you to preserve your energy for what truly matters. Every word carries weight, and when you speak only when necessary, your actions, decisions, and even rare statements resonate far more deeply than constant noise ever could. This is the essence of strength, knowing when to act, when to wait, and when your presence alone is enough to command attention without saying a single word. When you choose silence, you naturally develop the ability to observe rather than react. In life, many people are caught in the trap of immediate response, reacting to every comment, situation, or challenge that comes their way. They speak first and think later, often letting emotions dictate their actions. Observation, however, allows you to step back, take a breath, and assess the situation before committing yourself. It is in this calm, silent space that true insight emerges. Observing before reacting gives you a strategic advantage. You notice patterns, intentions, and subtleties that others overlook in their rush to respond. You see the unspoken dynamics between people, the hidden motives, and the opportunities that lie quietly in the background. By watching and listening, you gather information that others miss, allowing you to act not from impulse, but from intelligence and awareness. Observation also nurtures emotional intelligence. When you resist the urge to respond immediately, you gain control over your emotions. You are less likely to be swayed by anger, jealousy, or fear, and more likely to respond with clarity, composure, and wisdom. The ability to observe without judgment sharpens your perspective and strengthens your relationships because you begin to understand people on a deeper, more authentic level. In addition, observing rather than reacting allows you to choose your battles wisely. Not everything requires a response. Not every provocation needs confrontation. By remaining silent and attentive, you conserve your energy and direct it toward what truly matters. You become selective with your words, actions, and focus, and as a result, your influence grows. People notice your restraint, your careful consideration, and your ability to act at the perfect moment. Ultimately, observation over reaction cultivates powerful awareness and foresight. You begin to see the opportunities before they become obvious, anticipate challenges before they arise, and understand the hidden dynamics of life and people. Your silence becomes a tool, a shield, and a source of insight. You learn that the world reveals its truths not to those who speak the loudest, but to those who watch, listen, and understand deeply before taking action. In a world where people constantly feel the need to announce their efforts, achievements, and intentions, there is a profound power in letting your results speak for themselves. Words can inspire, influence, or impress for a moment, but tangible outcomes carry a weight that cannot be ignored or dismissed. When you focus on action instead of talk, you cultivate a presence that is undeniable. Your silence becomes a canvas on which your accomplishments are painted vividly, and the world cannot help but notice. Allowing your results to lead demonstrates discipline and consistency. It shows that you are not driven by recognition or validation, but by purpose and excellence. Every step you take, every effort you make, and every goal you achieve builds silently, invisibly, yet powerfully. Those who speak the loudest may often fade into the background, but the quiet achiever leaves an indelible mark through tangible impact. Moreover, letting results speak fosters credibility and respect. People begin to associate you with competence, reliability, and effectiveness. They do not need to hear empty promises or boastful claims. They witness outcomes that validate your capabilities. Your silence, in this case, is not a lack of voice. It is a demonstration of confidence, patience, and self-assuredness. You do not rush to prove yourself because your work proves it naturally. This approach also allows you to avoid unnecessary conflict and comparison. In the absence of constant explanation, criticism or doubt loses its power. Instead of defending your intentions or actions, your results stand firm, showing the truth of your efforts. Those who watch will begin to understand not through words, but through evidence and consistent action. Finally, letting results speak louder than words is a reminder of the timeless principle of action over rhetoric. While many chase attention through talking, those who achieve quietly become the benchmarks, the examples, and the inspirations. The world responds to accomplishment, not announcements, and in cultivating this approach, you harness the quiet power of influence, respect, and undeniable presence that words alone could never create. In a world filled with noise, opinions, distractions, and endless chatter, silence becomes a sanctuary where clarity is born. When you intentionally step back and quiet the external and internal noise, you create space to see life with sharper focus. Decisions, relationships, and opportunities that once seemed confusing or overwhelming suddenly come into perspective. Silence allows your mind to untangle the chaos and prioritize what truly matters, stripping away everything unnecessary that clouds judgment and vision. By embracing silence, you cultivate mental clarity. Thoughts that were once jumbled and impulsive begin to organize themselves. You start to recognize patterns in situations and behaviors, noticing details that others may overlook. Your understanding deepens, and your intuition becomes stronger because it is no longer drowned out by distraction or excessive discussion. This clarity gives you a unique advantage in making thoughtful, informed decisions rather than reacting hastily. Silence also nurtures emotional clarity. When you pause and refrain from responding immediately, you create the opportunity to observe your feelings without being controlled by them. Anger, frustration, jealousy, or fear are no longer dictating your actions. Instead, you assess your emotions, understand their origins, and decide consciously how to respond. This not only strengthens your emotional intelligence, but also allows you to navigate complex social dynamics with grace and composure. Furthermore, silence encourages clarity in communication and relationships. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. People begin to pay attention not to what you say constantly, but to what you say intentionally. By listening more than speaking, you gain a deeper understanding of others' perspectives, motivations, and intentions. This kind of clarity fosters meaningful connections, boosts built on insight and empathy rather than assumptions and miscommunication. Silence also provides clarity in recognizing opportunities and obstacles. In the quiet, you can assess risks, anticipate challenges, and spot openings that others miss while they are caught up in noise and haste. The ability to see life clearly, to understand the true nature of people and situations, is a form of power that allows you to act strategically and confidently. Ultimately, silence cultivates a clarity that permeates every aspect of life. From personal growth to professional success, from relationships to self-understanding, the calm space created by silence sharpens perception, strengthens judgment, and empowers action. By seeking silence, you open the door to insight that words, busyness, or noise could never provide. There is a unique and profound power in focusing on your work rather than announcing it to the world. In a society that glorifies loud ambition and constant self-promotion, those who dedicate themselves silently to their goals often achieve the most lasting and impactful success. Working quietly does not mean doing less. It means channeling your energy and attention entirely toward action and results instead of external validation or approval. When you work in silence, you are free from distractions and judgment. You do not waste time explaining your intentions, defending your choices, or responding to critics. Every ounce of energy is directed toward mastering your craft, developing your skills, and moving steadily toward your goals. The quiet dedication allows you to refine your abilities, experiment, fail, and adapt without the pressure of public scrutiny. Working quietly also cultivates discipline and resilience. It requires patience to keep pushing forward without immediate recognition or praise. It requires perseverance to continue when progress seems slow and challenges seem overwhelming. But this very discipline and resilience become the foundation of visible success. The work you invest in silently eventually manifests in outcomes that speak louder than any announcement could. Moreover, quiet work generates authentic credibility. When your achievements appear, they carry weight precisely because they were not accompanied by constant promotion or boastfulness. People notice results that are undeniable, outcomes that cannot be questioned, ignored, or diminished. Your silent dedication communicates strength, consistency, and mastery without uttering a single word. Working quietly also allows you to stay strategic and focused. By avoiding the distractions of constant attention or approval seeking, you can allocate your resources, time, energy, and talent toward the actions that matter most. This strategic focus enhances productivity and effectiveness, creating results that are not only visible but significant and transformative. Ultimately, to work quietly is to embrace the principle that actions resonate louder than words. By letting your dedication, skill, and persistence shine through outcomes rather than announcements, you command respect naturally. The quiet labor builds a foundation of trust, authority, and influence, ensuring that when success arrives, it is not fleeting or superficial. It is visible, undeniable, and enduring. One of the most powerful advantages of embracing silence is the ability to shield yourself from negativity. Life is filled with critics, naysayers, and people who attempt to drain your energy with doubts, gossip, or unnecessary conflict. By practicing discretion and choosing carefully when to speak or act, you create a protective barrier around your mind and spirit. Silence allows you to observe without being influenced, to listen without being provoked, and to maintain your focus on your goals rather than on others' opinions. Discretion teaches you to choose your words and actions wisely. When you refrain from reacting impulsively, you avoid situations that could escalate into conflict or misunderstanding. You gain the ability to respond deliberately, addressing challenges with thoughtfulness and composure. People who constantly speak without discretion often find themselves entangled in unnecessary drama, whereas those who master silence maintain clarity, authority, and control. Silence also cultivates inner strength in the face of criticism. Negative words lose their power over you when you do not immediately react or defend yourself. Instead of being pulled into arguments or distractions, you remain centered, confident, and unwavering. Discretion allows you to observe the intentions and motives behind negativity, giving you insight into whether it is worth your attention or simply noise to ignore. In addition, avoiding negativity through discretion helps you protect your energy and focus. Every interaction, every word, and every response consumes mental and emotional resources. By speaking less and observing more, you conserve your energy for what truly matters, your goals, your growth, and your vision. Discretion ensures that your time and focus are not wasted on petty conflicts, jealousy, or external drama. Discretion also strengthens your strategic influence. When you remain silent in the face of negativity, people begin to notice your calm composure and confidence. Your actions, decisions, and integrity speak louder than any argument ever could. This quiet strength earns respect naturally, making your presence and opinions far more impactful when you finally choose to express them. Ultimately, using discretion to avoid negativity empowers you to navigate life with clarity, control, and resilience. It transforms silence into a shield and a tool for strategic action, allowing you to rise above distractions, protect your energy, and maintain focus on what truly matters, while others expend theirs reacting to chaos around them. Silence allows you to transform impulsive reactions into deliberate actions. When you pause before speaking or acting, you create a space to assess the situation fully, consider the potential consequences, and make choices with intention. Life is full of moments that test our patience, judgment, and focus, and responding hastily often leads to regrets or missed opportunities. By embracing silence, you develop the ability to act thoughtfully, ensuring that every move you make aligns with your purpose and long-term vision. Deliberate action is rooted in awareness and strategy. When you are silent, you observe, listen, and understand before committing to any step. You notice the patterns that others overlook, the subtle shifts in energy or behavior, and the hidden opportunities that present themselves quietly. This awareness allows you to choose actions that are not only effective, but also impactful, creating meaningful results that reflect your insight, intelligence, and foresight. Silence also encourages precision in effort. When you act deliberately, every decision, every step, and every word carries weight. You are no longer scattering energy on trivialities or reacting to every external stimulus. Instead, your focus is concentrated on actions that truly matter, actions that move you closer to your goals. The power of such deliberate effort is that it compounds over time, creating momentum that is both invisible to the unobservant and undeniable in its outcomes. Furthermore, deliberate actions lead to consistency and reliability. People begin to recognize that you do not act rashly or without thought. Your decisions are measured, intentional, and purposeful. This consistency builds trust and credibility, allowing you to influence and inspire others without needing to speak loudly or frequently. Your reputation is shaped not by words, but by the tangible outcomes of your mindful choices. Deliberate actions also cultivate resilience and adaptability. When you act with intention, you are prepared for both success and setbacks. You understand the risks and anticipate challenges, which allows you to respond with composure rather than panic. Your quiet, thoughtful approach ensures that even in adversity, your actions remain aligned with your ultimate vision, and the results you achieve are sustainable and meaningful. Ultimately, focusing on deliberate actions transforms your life into one where results carry depth and significance. Every step becomes intentional, every effort purposeful, and every achievement a reflection of strategic thought, patience, and clarity. The quiet power of deliberate action ensures that your success is not only visible but also enduring, leaving a lasting impression far beyond fleeting words or empty promises. Silence teaches us the importance of trusting the journey rather than obsessing over immediate results. In a world that constantly pressures us to produce instant outcomes, patience and quiet perseverance become invaluable. Trusting the process means having faith in your efforts, your growth, and the natural unfolding of life, even when the results are not immediately visible. It is the understanding that every small, consistent action contributes to a larger picture that will eventually reveal itself. When you embrace silence, you create the mental space necessary for trust to grow. Instead of reacting to every challenge, criticism, or distraction, you pause and allow life to unfold naturally. This quiet patience helps you see that setbacks are not failures, but essential steps in learning, adapting, and strengthening your resilience. Every obstacle encountered becomes a lesson, and every challenge overcome becomes proof that the process is working, even if you cannot yet see the final outcome. Trusting the process also nurtures confidence in your own abilities. When you act quietly and consistently, without seeking constant validation or reassurance, you develop a deep faith in yourself. You know that your dedication, discipline, and persistence are building momentum even when progress feels slow or invisible. Silence reinforces this confidence because it keeps you focused on action rather than on external approval or comparison with others. Moreover, trusting the process encourages long-term thinking over short-term gratification. In the noise of life, it is easy to become impatient, chasing immediate results or rewards. Silence allows you to step back and recognize that meaningful achievements are rarely instantaneous. They are cultivated over time through persistence, reflection, and unwavering commitment to your goals. By trusting the journey, you align your actions with purpose rather than urgency, ensuring that your success is both sustainable and deeply fulfilling. Silence also sharpens your ability to recognize timing and opportunity. By observing and waiting rather than forcing outcomes, you position yourself to act at the precise moment when your efforts will yield the greatest impact. Life rewards those who are patient, prepared, and attentive, and silence gives you the clarity to discern when the time is right to move forward boldly. Ultimately, trusting the process transforms the way you approach challenges, opportunities, and growth. It instills a sense of calm, confidence, and clarity, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. By embracing silence and letting the journey unfold, you align your actions with purpose, build resilience, and prepare yourself for the moments when your efforts will manifest into undeniable results. There is a quiet, magnetic power in inner strength, an energy that draws people to you without a single word being spoken. When you cultivate resilience, patience, and composure in silence, you become a source of inspiration to those around you. Others notice not just your achievements, but the calm confidence with which you navigate challenges, setbacks, and uncertainty. Your presence alone becomes a demonstration of what is possible when one masters self-control and embraces purpose over noise. Inner strength is visible through actions, not announcements. When you face obstacles without complaining, handle criticism without defensiveness, and remain steady amid chaos, people naturally take notice. They see someone who does not need to broadcast every thought or justify every decision. This quiet consistency becomes a model for others, showing that true power lies in perseverance, clarity, and the ability to rise above external pressures without losing focus. Moreover, inner strength fosters authentic influence. Unlike loud or forceful attempts to lead, strength rooted in silence does not demand attention. It earns it. People are drawn to those who demonstrate courage, integrity, and patience through their deeds rather than through constant words. Your resilience and steadfastness encourage others to believe in their own potential, inspiring them to cultivate their own discipline, focus, and inner calm. This type of strength also creates emotional stability for those around you. In moments of tension, conflict, or uncertainty, your composed presence offers reassurance and guidance without the need for instruction. Others instinctively look to you for cues on how to act because your silent strength communicates clarity, confidence, and stability in ways that words often cannot. Inner strength is not about isolation, it is about setting an example through perseverance. C. Humility and quiet determination. When you face challenges, work diligently toward your goals and remain unfazed by distractions or negativity, you inspire others to do the same. Your resilience becomes contagious, encouraging those around you to embrace patience, maintain focus, and trust themselves even in difficult circumstances. Ultimately, the power of inner strength lies in its ability to influence without forcing, to teach without preaching, and to lead without dominating. It demonstrates that the most profound form of leadership and inspiration comes not from loud proclamations, but from consistent, composed, and courageous action that others cannot help but notice, respect, and aspire to emulate. In a world obsessed with visibility, likes, and instant recognition, it is easy to confuse noise with achievement. True success, however, does not demand applause or constant acknowledgement. It quietly earns respect through the weight of its results, the consistency of effort, and the depth of integrity behind every action. When you focus on meaningful work rather than superficial recognition, your accomplishments naturally speak for themselves, creating an influence that is lasting, authentic, and undeniable. True success is built on substance, not spectacle. Loud proclamations and constant self-promotion may attract temporary attention, but they rarely inspire respect. People admire those whose results are tangible, reliable, and transformative. When your actions consistently produce outcomes that matter, your success becomes a force that commands admiration, even from those who initially doubted you. The world notices not because you announce it, but because your impact is visible and significant. Moreover, success that commands respect is rooted in discipline, patience, and perseverance. It is the result of countless hours of effort, quiet learning, and strategic thinking that others rarely see. Those who achieve this type of success understand that accolades and recognition are secondary to mastery and influence. They work diligently, remain focused on their goals, and allow their results to define them rather than relying on words or appearances to validate their worth. Respect earned through true success also fosters authentic influence and authority. People are drawn to those who demonstrate competence, integrity, and consistent excellence. Unlike fleeting attention, respect endures because it is grounded in truth and reliability. When others witness the steady accumulation of achievements born from dedication, they naturally trust, follow, and value your guidance without needing to be persuaded. True success also encourages humility and focus. Because it is self-sustained and earned through effort, it frees you from the need to compete for superficial attention or seek constant validation. You move through life with confidence and purpose, guided by results rather than reactions, and others notice the quiet power of your presence. Ultimately, success that commands respect is timeless, profound, and impactful. It transcends trends, opinions, and noise, standing as a testament to deliberate effort, resilience, and integrity. While attention may fade, the respect earned through genuine accomplishment endures, influencing lives, shaping perceptions, and creating a legacy that speaks for itself without requiring a single boastful word. Patience is one of the most underrated yet powerful qualities a person can cultivate. In a world that constantly seeks instant gratification, the ability to wait, endure, and remain steadfast in pursuit of your goals separates those who achieve lasting success from those who settle for temporary gains. Patience allows you to work steadily, observe keenly, and act strategically, creating conditions where your efforts compound into results far greater than what immediate action alone could achieve. When you practice patience, you gain the ability to see the bigger picture. Challenges that feel overwhelming in the moment often reveal their purpose over time. Waiting allows you to gather information, understand patterns, and identify opportunities that others, in their haste, might miss. It transforms obstacles into lessons and delays into preparation, giving your actions greater precision and impact when the time is right. Patience also cultivates mental and emotional resilience. By resisting the urge to rush or react impulsively, you train yourself to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. This steadiness allows you to make better decisions, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and maintain focus on what truly matters. People who lack patience often find themselves frustrated, distracted, or misled by temporary setbacks, whereas the patient individual channels challenges into momentum. Moreover, patience multiplies rewards by allowing efforts to mature and results to solidify. Immediate success may provide fleeting satisfaction, but lasting achievements are nurtured through consistent dedication and quiet perseverance. By waiting for the right moment to act, you maximize the impact of your work and ensure that your accomplishments are meaningful, respected, and sustainable. Patience also strengthens relationships and influence. When you take the time to listen, observe, and understand, you develop deeper connections with others. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate composure, thoughtfulness, and the ability to act with intention rather than impulsively. The trust and respect you earn through patience amplify the effectiveness of your efforts, allowing your influence to extend far beyond immediate results. Finally, patience allows you to align with life's natural rhythm. Instead of forcing outcomes, you flow with timing, recognizing when to act, when to wait, and when to let circumstances unfold. In doing so, your achievements become a product of strategy, perseverance, and insight, rather than luck or haste. Patience transforms not only the outcome, but also the journey, providing the clarity, strength, and foresight needed to reach goals that might otherwise have remained out of reach.